hope you guys are ready for a deep dive, because I've done my own independent investigation of Felielle. She's an artist who has had multiple allegations against her, and she's had so many allegations that she got banned off Vgen for 6 months. Now, I was wondering why she got banned, and why are all these problems surrounding this artist? The original reason I was concerned was because I frequently have people who are in my comments and on my shorts saying that I use AI in my art, which are just AI bros harassing me because you guys know that I've had those. And I thought, you know what, maybe I'll reach out to her and see what her story is. So I watched a video about her, and then I went to go to see what was all the hubbub about, right? Because people want to accuse me just because they're angry. And you guys know, you guys see enough art where you guys have seen me start work from scratch. You guys know that I do all my work from scratch. Anyway, the point is that my art looks shitty all by itself. Now, I want to make it clear here that here at Friendly Neighborhood Artists, we don't harass people. And I'm asking you to make your own choices on whether or not you support this person if you find them in the future. They're an artist in their own right too, and I'm not discrediting them as an artist, but maybe some of their work through some of their actions. Now be prepared, because this is going to be a long video, so I'm going to be trying to go over everything as much as possible, sit down and draw, and hang out with me for a little while we talk about this person. Now Philly has a lot of pieces around here, but the earliest piece that I can find is this picture of her own OC of herself. And I know that this pose is from a game. I know it is. I just don't know what game it's from, because I know she probably traced over the pose. You can just tell from the lines. And the outfit is definitely from the Archbishop from Ragnarok Online. You know how I know that? Because I used to play Ragnarok Online. And you know, I don't really care that much about this because it's really not 100% the same. I know she's just taking inspiration, but the pose is probably traced. This might be the earliest of her issues, but we're gonna keep going. So I'm gonna divide this video up into sagas, and we're gonna go over them as the timeline moves forward. So it starts in 2016 in the Paigeworld era. So Paigeworld is like, I guess, a website that was for artists for a little while, and it didn't last very long. You know, I really couldn't find that much information on it, but these controversies started either on Tumblr or Paigeworld. But with Paigeworld, someone had flagged her stuff for tracing/copying, and it was like a traced one-for-one overlay. She refused to admit it, and she was either banned or stopped posting. Now, I was able to get this from a former mod of Paigeworld, so I'm not going to like show their screenshots, but I did talk to this person one-on-one because I found their information through going through all of her Twitter replies, because I went on a deep dive into Felie's Twitter. I also think that possibly there is a language barrier issue because she is from Spain, and she said that she did this image as a commission, and I think when she gets commission references, she thinks, I can't stray at all. But that's really not the case, and I don't know if it's the barrier or her tracing on purpose. So let's look at a commission that I actually did for a character from my novel, because lately I've been commissioning characters from my book series so I can get more visuals on them, because I don't know, it just inspires me to ask other people to draw my characters when I'm in the mood for writing about that character. It's a thing I do, like literally just ignore me. Now I opened up Photoshop, and as you can see here, this is the character that I got commissioned by somebody. You know, I will put their VGen in the comments because I love their work. Their work is exactly what I was looking for. So if you guys like this, feel free to also give them some business. They're great, and they're really nice too. Now this is the image that I showed her that I was, you know, I wanted this energy, but I didn't want it to be negative. I like the hand up part, and I like the looking, but I didn't like the looking so mean, because the character isn't mean. She's like a nice person. So I wanted her to look like kind of cute, smart aleck kind of. So I went and I pasted this over here. So this is the sketch that the person did for me. Now we're gonna hover this over, right? Now look, we're gonna zoom in a little bit. All right. Oh, damn it. All right, now look. Even if I move it around, right? Look, Even if I move it around, the face is not the same. It doesn't even, none of it matches up in the sketch, right? Like even if I align parts of it, look, I align the shoulder and the neck a little bit, but you can see like right there where the hand doesn't match up. Like if I do this, the hand doesn't match up. So even the forearm down here doesn't match up. So of course, some of these lines are going to you know, match up a little bit because she drew the same pose, obviously. But even you can tell that the ear doesn't match up with the face, the jaw doesn't match up, the eyes don't match up in the same spot, the head doesn't match up. None of these things match up. Like even you can't, like her shoulder is up here, right? Because she had her shoulder be slanted instead of rounded like this person, because this person has a very different art style. So of course she can't trace one for one and me not notice. So obviously, I don't know how to zoom out with Adobe. We're just gonna right click then. So this is an accurate way to like reference something. Like if you hover it over and some of it goes over the lines, like, you know, like right there where the neck swoops down into the arm, that's fine. And where like maybe right here, this line here of the arm, this line, like this right here is the only line that actually lines up. The rest of them, you'd have to like fit it. You'd really have to try to fit it around to make it work, because these proportions are very hyper stylized. And I was not looking for super hyper stylization. Not that I would mind it, but you know, I'm just saying. Now let's look at the commission that she did, okay? Because I want to show you the right way to do it. Now let's look at this. So right here, I actually had to go onto Tumblr, put in this old URL, and then I got lucky that this actually was still here, and I took a screenshot from this. So it says, so it seems I found a tracer. Felielle XX at D8 took an art piece from an artist by the name of Mitha, work found on Safebaru. And if you guys don't know, Safebaru is like the non-corn version of Danbaru, and those are like fan art sites where you can like look up things by tags, and traced over it for a commission piece that she took in. I'm not sure how many other works are traced, but I'm sure that this isn't the first. So here, if we zoom in a little bit, you can see that these poses are very similar, straight down to the hands, placement and everything. And even though she painted it herself, even the eyes are the same, the hair is a little bit the same, like even like the part on the side where the hair goes down is the same. So she did an overlay version, and as you can see, it is nearly identical with very slight differences. The face is 1-for-1, the body is 1-for-1. I think personally that Feli has problems with anatomy. I really do. I really think that. I think that she doesn't know how to draw the torso on people. I think that that's why she gets a lot of trouble, because the parts that she's copying are parts that are like big body parts that you would totally notice. Like if it was just hands, I would not have noticed it, but it's because it's the bigger part of the body and the head and the hands and the arms. It's like, whoa, what are you doing? Too much. Girl, you're doing too much. Now, her issue with this, like Feli's problem is that Feli doesn't think it's a big deal. She thinks that this is fine. And she goes, what's the big deal? Now, the thing is that she did give this person their money back for the commission. And at the same time, she said that the person told her to draw that pose. I fully believe that, but I also believe that she traced it because she did. I feel like she's done it so many times. She's traced things so many times that I'm like 1-for-1. I feel like maybe someone needs to explain it to her, or maybe she has some kind of learning disability. I really try to give people the benefit of the doubt when I talk about this type of stuff, because if she's been doing this since like 2016. Like that's like she's been doing this for 9 years, guys. 9 years she's been doing it. Taking straight from people's artwork, flipping it, all that. But let's move on. So now we're in 2017, and we are in the Zelda Drama. She posted about this on her Twitter, and she posted it on Zelda Day, or Zelda's birthday, or whatever. Now, I don't know if this piece is fully hers, because on every single piece she's ever drawn, I even found her toy house. even on her toy house, she has the year that it was made and her signature. Now her signature has changed over time, but the point is that she has still signed it every single time, but only this one has no signature on it. I think that that's a little weird. I just personally think that that's very strange that only this one has no signature. But I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt because the other artworks of the time frame do not match this one. And she posted this on a Zelda tag last year. So when I actually was in contact with her, I asked her what went on because she said in the tweet that she was accused of tracing in 2017 by a popular artist on Instagram, but the drama happened on Tumblr. And since then, she has deleted her Tumblr and her other Tumblr, so there's no tracing it back to anyone. There's no comments, no nothing, and the artwork is on various websites now, so she could claim it's hers, but unless she can prove that she has all of the speed paints, or if she can prove she has something, then yeah, it's hers, but otherwise, I don't know. I really tried to dig deep to find more about this drama, but when I asked her about it, she said she didn't remember the artist. She said she really liked popular artists at that time, and she was in love with this artist that I don't believe that she doesn't remember. Even though it's been a long time, I just don't believe she doesn't remember the artist, considering she was taking a style. So let's talk about her as an artist, since this Zelda drama. Felielle is highly observant as an artist. She doesn't need to trace, but she does it because she likes what she sees and it's her shortcut. Her biggest problem is that she loves big artists, so she tends to imitate their style, because she's so observant, she can basically draw like them. And then she'll tend to draw the same subjects they do, and then she'll flip the canvas when she tries to recreate it, and then she doesn't give them credit, because at some point it becomes plagiarism, and that's what she's doing. She's plagiarizing for the most part when she's imitating big artists because she wants to get big. Because in my opinion, I think that she's more of a plagiarist than a tracer. She does trace, but I think that she's plagiarizing because she tends to recreate the subjects of the artists she likes, like she did with Sakimichan and other Safe Baru artists. This would be like an excellent case for fair use if she were to ever be sued, because all of her artwork is imitating something that was already made, with exceptions of her commissions. So let's talk about Sakimichan and her music plagiarism in 2018. An anonymous source sent me loads of screenshots. I'm not going to out the person who gave me the screenshots, and I'm not going to out the person who is the original person either, because these were given to me in good faith. So she started doing like a music career where she wanted to do remixes of music and make music. Her YouTube channel with her music. Now, if you don't know who Sakimichan is, Sakimichan has been around for a while now. And AI has scraped all of her work. There's Civet AI made of her. There's models made for her. She's in the midjourney list probably. She's one of the most popular artists out there that people want to draw like. Okay? She's like a Ross Draws or a Sam Does Art, but she doesn't have a YouTube channel where she talks to people. She just is really on Deviantart, and that's pretty much it. She has a Patreon, but she offers courses. So as you can see here, this screenshot has her art, followed by someone commenting below. The edited version is nicely done, but this work and many others of your works are very similar to Sakimichan and the League splash arts. First, I thought you reposted them, but when I looked closer, it's basically someone else's work, but changed a little or a lot. This one, for example, really looks like Sakimichan's Zaya and Rakan. I don't know those names. So I figured you drew a lot of inspiration from it. But you aren't stating that anywhere, not even in the tags, and in the comments you get recognition for it. How do I know why this is Sakimichan inspired? Because right here, compare your art to hers. Zaya basically has the same face, only with her mouth changed. Rakan's arms is literally the same. Rakan's ears the same. Zaya's ears. You sell them as your own, and that's art thievery. Well, really, it's plagiarism. You even make a profit of some of these works that are copied/changed, and that's not okay. It's important to credit the original source or the artist you drew inspiration from, especially if it's like this. Now the comment continues on. This one is literally Ezreal's splash art, but edited, and you don't state it anywhere. This one is inspired by Sakimichan, but it's literally her work, but flipped and edited. The splash art of Evelyn and DJ Sona's splash art. It's okay to draw inspiration from artists' works, but when you do post your work and even gain profit out of it, then the least you can do is credit them. Art theft and to gain recognition for it is not okay, but you're probably going to delete this comment anyway. Now, during this time, she was inspired by Yuki Kira, so of course, she's going to take from that art style too. I feel like, all right, so we're going to look at this image. All right, so this image here, this is Yuki's art right here. And you could see where it's literally, she has the boxed parts are the face. And then when we look at the other image, this image does look similar. It looks very similar. And I feel like that for fair use, I feel like, Kitty, can you quit? Me personally, I know she traced over the face and the hands, but the rest of it is too different for me to go, she stole it. Like, it's just too different. It's just too different for me. The outfit is different. The hands sure are in the same place. I don't know. I feel like this one is a little bit more doing what artists do. I feel like, I don't know. I'm very torn on this image. Tell me what you guys think in the comments about this Winter Star one. We're going to move on. So we're also going to look at this Felielle P's stuff. Now, Felielle P is it's a Japanese person that makes music, and she loved his music. So, oh my god, my kitten. She also straight up took from Felielle P, who is a Japanese musician. She took from their artist directly and made it for her song. So, like, I guess people make covers for their songs, so there's something in the background while the song plays on YouTube or wherever. So she just copied that. So we're going to look at that too. So basically she drew the same character. The one on the right is the original, and the one on the left belongs to Felielle, and she basically copied it. I can kind of see it. It has the same nose, slightly bigger. She's basically plagiarizing. That's what she's just plagiarizing that. That's just plagiarism straight up. Now, as we look at this bigger one right here with the chains and everything, now there is a different one with the chains. Now, here's another one of the same character with the chains. So she took the face of the one that she liked and put it on that one, and then drew the body. So she's like plagiarizing twice? Like she's taking the whole head, and then she's taking the whole body, and then she's making a mishmash. I think someone has taught her how to do photo bashing wrong. If she's, like, the thing is if you're photo bashing poses, like usually you'd want to photo bash it different. Like you're gonna find different pieces to make different poses. That's kind of how it works. You don't want to make exactly the same, like if it's gonna be exactly the same pose, it cannot look like the same character. You gotta be kidding me. Girl, stop. So now we're gonna talk about how she plagiarized Felielle P's music. Now, not only did she love Felielle P, she started plagiarizing his music. Felielle P uploaded a song as a whip. And then later that day, Felielle uploaded her new version of the song where the lead melody sounded the exact same as Felielle P's whip. A user uploaded a version of it and laid them over, causing Felielle to harass the person in this screenshot and in DMs. One thing about Felielle is that she says that she comes across genuine, but she is actually kind of spiteful when you call her out. She has a record of, instead of accepting the wrongdoing, she treats people terrible, and then she despises being called out publicly. I personally think that she's been using people's good faith to her advantage. I'm like, imagine all of this came from how an artist this good gets banned off of Vgen for using AI. Now, when it comes to the plagiarism, the OP user told Felielle P that Felielle had been plagiarizing, and he agreed to it and was sad, as you can see in the screenshot where he says it is sad. To Felielle, the evidence being posted is worse than doing what she did or dealing with any of that stuff privately, because talking to her privately has never worked and will continue to never work, as we're going to be seeing this as a pattern of behavior. And this is kind of why I decided to do a deep dive into her, because it's not about one instance. It's about seeing all of the instances behind it, and if those instances are matching up with the new instances. Now, instead of taking it like she should, she'll go on Twitter and she'll sad post, cry post about it, and bring along and act like she's going to leave the internet forever. She is still messing with the OP user in 2020, calling her a thief, saying the song was plagiarized, saying that the song was not plagiarized, and then calling them out for plagiarism, which is not true, because, like, as you can see in the screenshot right here, So remember when this person accused me of plagiarizing a song? Guess what he did? Yes, he went on and plagiarized Noir by Celie P. Ooh, the irony. Oh yes, he posted a few whips on his SoundCloud account, and oh my god, it's the same stuff as Noir. Yet he goes around accusing me. Well, I hope he gets what he deserves. Someone should do a something interesting comparison track. Now, that is some petty bitch material. I'm just gonna say, it's petty shit. She's a petty bitch. And let's look at how she treats someone who, called her out. Take down the track. Are you going to ignore me again? I managed to get 4 reports on SoundCloud now. I just don't understand what your problem is, really. Do you have any kind of mental illness? Because I'm wondering if you are really something out there, because I really don't understand. You take it down and then you re-upload it again. What is your problem? Why don't you get checked? You're only hurting yourself like this, you know. But, well, as I said, I will keep reporting it until it gets taken down, and I will do everything I can. Even if I have to call the Russian police, I will do it. Or maybe I can do the same and expose to the public your name and say that you're bullying me. Girl. And later on, through Twitter, I'm assuming this is Twitter, it says, you can see it's no longer uploaded. Now take the track down. Please take it down. I also wrote an apology to Celie, just in case. You won. And here's her pity posting. I really miss producing music. I wish I didn't delete my SoundCloud and YouTube channel, but I would like to open a new YouTube and SoundCloud to upload and ignore the haters. It's my music. I inspire from other artists. We all know Celie Miku is my favorite, and so do many others. So what? I'm not doing anything wrong, and by all means, I didn't do what they accused me of. Still waiting for them to take down the track and apologize. And ever since then, she still makes music on her SoundCloud. And anytime she re-uploads tracks or something that has to do with that original song, she makes sure to mention that she was harassed by a user. So she's kind of like sympathy baiting there. Now, I heard both songs. I heard Celie P's song and the song that she said was plagiarized. I believe that they are wholly different. They're so different. I'm not going to play either or because I don't know if they're connected to the system and I don't want to get a copyright claim and then have to re-upload the video. So you're just going to have to trust me that I have ears and can use them. They're big enough. Now this mixes with the next era because the 2018 drama lasted until 2023, which is insane. So now we're going to go into the Squchan. I don't know, Squchan? I hope that's how you say it. Girl, I'm sorry. Now, Squchan is a big VTuber. She's done a lot of work with other popular VTubers. I believe she has some connections to even the biggest ones, like Shy Lily, since her manager follows her. Now, this happened back in 2020. I know this is 5 years ago. I know. We haven't even hit 2025 yet. So I decided to investigate this situation. Squchan talked about it in her Discord because she didn't want to expose Felielle because she wanted to be responsible considering she had the bigger following. Now, I have a few screenshots that I'd like to show you and I'll read them out for those who are drawing and listening with the commentary in between. So in September, Squchan goes, "Is any one of you feel like white knighting for me? I'm kind of at a crossroads with a certain someone who blocked me and I'm not sure if I'm ready to take it completely public just yet." And Kaiser goes, "I'll defend, but I won't go after somebody." And Squchan goes, "But I want to send a message. It's not really going after somebody, just asking her nicely to stop because I see her just because she blocked me." Kaiser goes, "Oh, sure, I can ask politely." Squchan goes, "There's an artist called Felielle who tends to trace my art or get heavily inspired by it. And me and 1010, we asked her to talk with us like a month ago or so. And she was incredibly rude and upset, saying that we are wrong and we just imagine it and it's not bad of her to do this. Oh, also, she called me names because I didn't want to be her friend. That's where the whole Voldemort thing came in, to be honest." Khan's Kanopi says, "Yeah, I can see what you mean." Squchan goes, "She told her followers that I'm an asshole and such during her stream. And of course, everyone defended her." Squchan says, "I don't want to humiliate her or make a big hassle, but it really does bother me." Sakimichan goes, "Okay, what the fuck is that Bowsette? That's just 180 turn?" Kaiser goes, "Yeah, that's just mirrored." Squchan goes, "Yeah, so what I really want is just a few people to gently let her know that yes, it does look similar, and it's not a nice thing to do, and please yamete. I mean, just be rational and polite. Yeah." That's what I'm trying to avoid too. But I do not like seeing my work in hers. And if I personally call her out, it will start a war, and I cannot do that. Kaiser says, I get the impression that mentioning it to her on Twitter or Twitch would be a sign of aggression. But where else would we put it out? Squchan says, I've already tried to resolve it in DMs though, and it didn't work out. Kaiser says, figures. Squchan says, that's why I thought this could be the second step. And if she would do it after this too, then I'll go public. Squchan goes, I'm helpless, not mad. Kaiser says, if I get blocked too, welp. Squchan goes, I cannot call her out because I'm the ass then. Kaiser goes, sure, got it, boss. Squchan goes, and if I don't call her out, then I'm just angry at myself. Ten goes, yeah, because your following makes you a big bad wolf. And Squchan goes, wow. Squchan, Philly, please be inspired somewhere else. Kaiser says, I can try speaking via DMs then. Squchan goes, I don't even care anymore. She is making money out of this. She is planning on opening comms. Who do you think she will trace for that? So at this point, Squchan is a little bit upset, and she shows 2 screenshots from her discussion with her. I did try slightly to see if I could get the rest of them to see how the conversation went, but I felt like Squchan probably wanted to not talk about it, and I felt like a little bit unwelcome to come ask her. I did try to leave a message on her Twitter, but she didn't respond. I don't really want to bother big creators, especially if they're just. I have nothing bad to say about her. I just felt like maybe I'm too small of a creator to come talk to her, and I thought if I could talk to her in Discord, or maybe one of her moderators could talk to her, maybe that would be a little bit easier. But I just got the vibe that I was not welcome. I'm not saying that was the case. I'm just a little bit socially awkward. And the moment I feel like no, I just take that as the no, and I don't press. So I'm going to read the comments here from the screenshots. Philly goes, I don't understand any of this situation really. Is it a crime to be inspired by other artists? This is tracing, not being inspired. And then Philly goes, oh my god, this is the cherry on top, whatever. I honestly came here to fix things, not be insulted or disrespected or be accused of tracing. 10 goes, well, I guess this is it? Philly goes, pretty much, it was worth a try, thanks for your time. And 10 goes, yeah, thanks for attempting. And Philly goes, no problem, thanks to you, I knew it was going to be pointless. You have your opinion and I have mine. Are you guys going to put those accusations on Twitter now? And then someone goes below, can we let it be, say that there isn't any bad blood or war or anything between us at all? There's no need to call anyone out. If other people drew it, maybe you should not. And Felly goes, honestly, I don't know what you're on about. Silro Dragon goes, what's so wrong with Burmiton one? Like, the pose doesn't even look similar to each other. The first one pose has the same hair clip and it's almost perfectly aligned up until the waist. And the problem is, Felly says, the problem is, why are you judging me and my art like this? If you don't see the problem, I'm not sure how to explain it. I just came here to fix things, not get called out. He goes, Felly, if you keep saying I'm calling you out, if I would, this pic would be on Twitter, not in a private chat. So, and from there, the situation kind of devolved and it never got resolved because her followers were trying to message her. The Kaiser fellow person was too honest when approaching Felly and got blocked and kind of caused her to make posts where she was playing the victim all over again, even though she clearly was taking very strongly from it. Now we're going to look into some of these images that Squchan was complaining about, how sensitive Felly gets. So let's go to Photoshop. Alright, so I made it so that you can kind of tell the difference between them a little bit, because they're really the same color. Because if you, I'm not even going to do that. I'll show you guys the color thing. Is that the color? Was this? Well, this was the color. So let's look at this. She really did color pick off this canvas a lot. Look, here's this. Here's this. This. It's very similar. So what she did do is she probably took the face. Let's see. Let's rotate. Did she take the face? Probably took the face. Yes, she did. She took the face. Definitely. She definitely took the hand. This hand over here on the left, because it's too, it doesn't line up perfectly. Maybe I'm not doing it right. I need free transform. Give me a break. It's not exact, but it's pretty close. And the body doesn't line up exactly. So she did take, but the thing is like, okay, so the boobs aren't the same. The waist is the same, so she probably did take the waist. So let's see if I can get it in there. Is that the waist? It's so hard to tell because it's different. It doesn't fit neatly. Look, let's do this. Let's zoom in. You know what? Let me zoom in a little bit. Let's look here. All right, so the boobs don't, like, even if you match up the boobs, it doesn't fit, like, in, right? Like, she's too skinny here on the waist, but she definitely traced a part of it, right? Because the hip goes off here. So I think what she did is okay, all right. This is me. I think that she took the hand, took the face, but she's essentially drawing in the same style as the artist, drawing the same character as the artist, and in a similar pose as the artist. So, like, even the crown is different. Like, look, that's Squchan's crown. This is the other character's crown. Like, they're very close, very, very similar. Very similar. Like, she painted her the same way. Like, even, yeah, she's painted even the same. Well, I wonder, let's see. Yeah, she even has the 2 dots down there. See, she's not here, she's not wearing it. This would be like the thing is this is what I mean when you probably shouldn't be learning off of one artist, because the thing is this is not, I feel like this is not plagiarism because it's too different. It is different. The pose is different, even though she stole part of it. She stole the stomach part, she stole the hands, and she stole the face. But at the same time, the face is not 100%. So the face probably came from another drawing. And she, like, when I mean face, I mean these features. These eyes and this nose probably came from another artwork. But I don't feel that she stole, like, she didn't steal it. But I feel like she's heavily referenced because they don't line up. Even the hands don't line up perfectly. I think she's taking too strong reference here. And I can see where that would make Squchan uncomfortable. So we're going to look at we're going to look at more damning ones, because I feel personally her art style is just so similar that it makes Squchan uncomfortable, because she's using the thing is like, Feli is doing too much. She wants to draw the same character as the person she likes. She wants to draw it in the same pose, maybe just slightly different. And she wants to color it the exact same with the same features. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy to me. That's too much. She's doing too much. She's getting by. Like, this piece, what I would say is 100% originally her piece, because this was before AI. So she clearly, like, traced parts of it and not other parts, but it's, like, really confusing. So here's another image. It is Cerberus. I don't know what Cerberus is from, but this is actually traced. This is traced. All she did was change the mouths a little bit. She put one character in front and the other character behind, but essentially they're in the same poses, wearing the same outfits. You can see parts of the thigh here. Like, if she had ever finished this, which she did not, it looks like. If she had finished it, I think that this would be plagiarism, because it's too close to the original. It's not different enough. She copied too many elements, copied the hair, and you could tell that she's copying too, because, like, look at the marks where she's just tracing over and making things. Like, it takes nothing to see that this thigh here is that thigh, but more straight. We're not stupid. She changed the close up a little bit on the one on the far right. For what? She put the tail in the way. But, like, she's just plagiarizing that one. So let's see the other one. So the one on the left, the only thing that's taken is the headset, the piece of the headset, and it's almost, is it the same? It's like, the thing is it's a different, would it be the same if it was a different, you know what, I don't know, I couldn't tell. But these are like canon characters. Alright, so the video game console. Okay, you know what, I know Squchan was, like, complaining about how she took too much from her art. Well, maybe she does, but these items are too different. Too different. Look, let's look. Look. Do you see this? Actually, we're going to do this differently. I was going to do it different, but we're going to do it this way. All right, let's look up close. This is what she says it was stolen from her in this picture, right? Because there's this and there's that. Let's look deep, okay? This is a fat star. Fat. It's fat. Oh, damn it. this star is not as fat as that star. There's no way she traced this one over here. Maybe, like, okay, she just redrew it. She just redrew it. Because, this is why I say this. Because even her painting it, like, okay, I better not get no haters in the chat, okay? Or in the comments. This line is way better than Squchan's line. Look, this goes down and in and around. Kind of like cuts off a little bit. Whereas this one goes evenly around. Like this one's a little bit too much in a weird perspective for me. This one is what I would consider right. And the star is different. The star is shaded almost, the star is even shaded differently. See, the size is a little bit too small there. I don't think she traced that. And this is low quality. This is low quality and small. It's not even the same. Look, Squchan's is high quality. The buttons are there. The buttons even have highlighting and shadows and these 3 lines. This was bullshitted. 100%. 100% bullshitted. You can barely see anything. It looks like shit. That looks like shit compared to Squchan's. We're gonna look at these ones down here. This is Felie's art, and this is the art she's supposed to have taken from. So, what am I looking for? So she said she took this hand, but did she? Let's look at this. So this is also Felie's work. This is Squchan's work. This is Felie's work. Oh, I see. Okay, so it's these 2 are Squchan's. These 2 are Felie's. So she said she copied this hand, put it here. Maybe like the finger goes down and hit and hides, unlike this one. This one goes down, like she should have drew more of it. And you can't make me believe that this hand right here is this hand over here. It's a similar hand, but it's not the same hand. The fingers aren't even in the same position. This hand is actually drawn better than this hand. And even if she used this hand from this drawing over here, the fingers are different again. And the wrist is fat. I think she is... Look, I know that all of this looks like it belongs to the same artist. I know. But I don't think these images are plagiarized. I think she's making copies, but they're shitty copies for the most part. Because she drew this character here, and their hands are pretty good, and their position and everything is different. The pose is different too, but she did color pick off this canvas to draw this. I know she did. She drew all the same stuff. Like, it's meant to look the same. That's the point. Meant to look the same. And when it comes to these 2, like, this hand, man, I don't think so. I don't think so. What do you guys think? Tell me in the comments about what do you think of these specifically, because I personally think when you look down deep into these images, the hand is a little bit too different for me. It's just a little bit, it's too much. It's too much. It's similar, but it's different. And you can't say someone's tracing you if it's similar but different. I think these images and the last image was pretty close to plagiarism, but it was different. These are close. I think that she is so heavily inspired by these people that she'll redraw things that they've drawn. And when she does that, it's just too similar. But there's this one. Now this one she did. So these are Squchan's artworks here, and this is Felie's artwork. You can clearly see that she took this head, put it over here, took this, put it over here. She took this stomach here, put it here. She did like basically steal. She basically traced and plagiarized at the same time. This one, yeah. So, I mean, Squchan has every right to feel this way when there's so many pieces that look similar, that are similar, that feel similar. Like, I'm sure that this hand you see here, that has the thing pulled open, I'm sure that when she adjusted this hand, because the water bottle's in this one, I'm sure she took this hand when she was redrawing it, and she made it, tilted it up a little bit so she could draw over it. I'm certain that's what she did. All in all, she stopped plagiarizing Squchan, but that doesn't mean that the drama stopped. Shortly after this, in 2020, she met Azuukichan. She met Azuukichan in March of 2021. Now let's get into the Azuuki drama. These 2 became friends because of a situation involving Azuukichan. Along with some weird hentai stuff, they bonded over their online troubles, so it appears that Felie is like a sympathy poster from all these posts where she talks about her mental health. She told me herself that she has a personality disorder. Me, not Azuukichan. She told me. But I'm not sure what she has, and as she didn't tell me which one, I didn't pry. This was the basis of their relationship, and while Azuki was trying to gain a following and raising awareness in the Spanish community about a situation similar to the Fell/Squchan drama, strangely enough, the Tracer was actually friends with Feli. Azuki has some insecurities if she could make a living on her art, leading Feli to feeling bad because she had more followers and kept pushing that it bothered Azuki, which it did not. Feli also said that she felt like Azuukichan was jealous of her the whole time. But I don't think Azuukichan was jealous from my perspective. Feli told me that Azuukichan believed she earned her followers for her craft because she's a hard worker. And I don't know if Azuukichan said that, but if she did, I believe anyone who works hard is owed. Some might disagree with me, but that is honestly how I feel. If you work hard, really, really hard, I think you're owed. And I think it is totally a travesty when someone works super hard and they get nothing. And I feel like every artist in my comments can totally understand that. You've worked on a piece really hard, like maybe you've worked on it 40 hours and you post it and you get 3 comments or you get 2 likes and that's it, and then it's gone and no one looks at it ever again. I'm sure we have all felt that. Now, Azuukichan was working hard to improve her craft, but that didn't seem to sit well with Feli, and Feli said that her art wasn't improving, and she didn't want to look like other artists or take references because of fear of the Squchan situation again. Azuukichan only realized after a little while that her works almost were becoming carbon copies. In 2022, AI images started getting brought up, but Azuukichan thought AI meant Adobe Illustrator, and this is kind of when Feli started to share her interest in AI. And she has multiple times said that she likes it. Now I'm going to put up some screenshots. I translated these screenshots from Google Translate. I had one of my friends help me make them a little bit better so I remembered when I'm going to read them, so just know that they're very rough, but there is a lot to read through. Now some are from Azuukichan's personal Twitter, some are from messages with Azuukichan while they were friends. And for transparency, I'm going to put up both screenshots side by side so you can see that yes, I did get real screenshots and they weren't manipulated. They were only translated. What is there? Adobe Illustrator? No, it's super weird new app that generates drawing depending on what you put in it. I don't know if you've seen it, something called DALL-E around here or Stable Diffusion. And Azuki goes, no idea. That thing about commuters making art or something? Yes, that. We're out of work, chick. Feli goes, it's been very hot the last few days. What's going on? For nothing. A machine will never be able to do what an artist can do, especially in the subject of OCs. Now, she's saying this in October 2022. Now, Azuki goes, I hope so, because those people and their perfect scripts every day. Feli goes, yeah, but no matter how much they do, they'll never replace it. It's just another tool. You know how that word triggers me. And you'll see when the copyright thing starts, it looks like it won't last long. But well, I like it quite a bit to see images and get inspired, but I would never use it to generate commissions or anything like that. See, I feel like, okay, so we're gonna talk a little bit where I put on my hat for a minute. I've watched too many 3-hour crime investigations where they're talking to people. When people say something like this, when they say a thing that they're against, and then they quickly go and say, but I would never do that, not me. That is kind of, not every time, but it's kind of a sign that they're probably doing that exact thing. It's kind of like saying when you meet a guy and everyone's like, yo, you shouldn't hang out with him. And you're like, oh, you know what? I just talked to him a little bit. Don't worry, girl. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. And then it's like, I did it. It's like that. It's definitely like that. I feel that when she says immediately, I've never used it for commissions, she's saying out loud the quiet part. So the other day I saw a YouTube guy drawing Pokemon generated by AI, and it was like Harry Art something. I'm gonna talk about him later in the video, like what the video is that she saw, because it's a screenshot. But I mean, they were horrible, but the guy got ideas from there to create his own drawings, and that seems pretty good to me, really. Now, I feel that everybody in 2022, everybody was interested I really feel that. I feel that wholeheartedly. You know, like even my friend she is harder anti-AI than me. I remember when it was first out, you know, they kind of made those like ugly card things where you could put in a word and generate it and then it would come up with an image. And it was just very bare bones. And she was the first one to show it to me, actually. And she goes, oh my god, look at this. This is like so interesting and different. And she goes, I could probably get some neat ideas. And I was like, ooh, let me try. Like, I feel that everybody was interested. So I am very forgiving about people in 2022 being interested in AI. I feel like it's disingenuous to hate somebody who was interested in AI in 2022. But we're gonna keep going. I'm in favor as long as it's not for profit and only for experimentation or for references. While I do not agree with that, some people do feel that way even now. I don't think that if you see it, I don't think that you should be generating the references on your own. I think if you find an image out in the wild and you like it and you get inspired by it, it's whatever. Because if you can get inspired from a fucking keychain or like something you saw on the street one day, I feel like you can get inspired by anything. And she goes, yes, I had no idea. And I have seen an account where imitating drawings from the 17th century or something, and I really liked it, but I said it was not for profit. Or the guy who makes the Pokemons. And this is a few days later. She goes, okay, but still, I don't want to hurt you with my numbers. And I know that you're having a bad time. Anyway, as soon as this drawing is over, I think I'm going to lose a few. And there are some who follow 3,000 accounts, and of course, they will never see my drawings. And Azuukichan goes, don't worry, I'm having a great time lately, and I'm noticing the change. Really, honey, you deserve it. Heart, you've been through enough. You deserve it. You deserve to grow. I think she's kind of meaning like, in truth, you too. The other day, I think fever means excited. I got excited from seeing the topic of AI, or maybe frustrated. I think it's frustrated. The other day, I got frustrated from seeing the topic of AI and Elon Musk, etc. It's the first time that this has happened to me. On top of that, I decided to upload a drawing of Felielle that I made with AI, and I lost almost 30 followers that day. She is very concerned for her followers. You know what? I feel you, girl. I feel like anyone who's on social media, who's trying to make a living on social media, I feel like the thing is like, I'm on YouTube, so like, I see the number go up. I see number go up, but I also see number go down. And then sometimes I worry why number go down. Like, I had someone who commented and they followed me, and then they unfollowed me on my next video and said, I don't really like the direction your channel is going in. I'm unfollowing you. And I was like, okay. Like, I didn't even know what to say. I'm like, okay, like, I don't know you. You don't know me. Like, bye. So here is on Discord instead of where they were before. Felielle goes, this is after the ban, right? This is after the ban on Vgen. And she goes, and by the way, that drawing you see of a woman with an umbrella was made with AI. It is a reference that a client gave me for his company. It's probably commission. For his commission. He told me to draw it the same way, but with black skin and black hair. And Azuki goes, what? What, an umbrella? Which? And she goes, well, in the Squchan images, the reference made with AI is of a commission that a client asked me for has been leaked. I don't know what that fucking means. So Azuukichan says, if someone gave me a reference with AI and I told them that I would have told them that I am not going to use those, that they should look for others. Like, come on, out of self-pride. So I don't feel that way. I feel that if a customer comes to you and they're giving you a collage of images, it shouldn't matter where those images are from. They're paying you to make art, so it shouldn't really matter where any of the images come from. I covered this before, where someone it was for their game. They had generated their images, and then they sent that generated image to an artist to finally get it drawn for their game, and then people were making fun of the image that was drawn for their game, which was really disrespectful. Not only to the artist, but to the person who paid. I think that I think that if someone finds AI pose, this is what I think. AI poses, if it's a pose, it is essentially a shitty base. If someone sends you an AI image on their collage board of their OC, and they're like, yo, I want this pose. You got to make that work. Okay, you're obviously not going to be able to trace it because it's going to have all these problems. So it's essentially a base. So Felielle says, the client paid me to make a drawing like that. I don't know what the hell this has to do with whether or not AI was used. I think Felielle is a little bit on the defense because she probably traced it And I do have the image. I have the image too, and we're going to look over the image in a second. So here's the image here, and she really did take a lot from this. She took a lot from this. I think she probably traced the outline and then changed like the body frame of the person, because it's still using like the hand. There's no hand in this image below. There's no hand. And her fingers are around the umbrella. And all she did was change the fingers and make the rest of the hand. But she changed things like how the fabric lays on the body. She changed the width of the thighs. So like the thing is that she likes to draw with those corn looking images. She draws like that. She wants them big boobies, big thighs, little waist. She wants to draw that. Or that's popular, so she draws that. So this skinny anime girl is not what she wants to give her client. She wants to give it in her style. So I feel that she definitely traced over this and then accentuated parts. So Azuukichan goes, but the thing is that when you're accused of using AI and making commissions, then it's different because there's money involved and everything becomes legally legal. Well, I think she's saying that everything is becoming like more, I think what she's trying to say is everything becomes more official at that point when you are starting trading money, and it's not right to use AI and the under part of the image. And she goes, I have never used AI for commissions. Also, the commissions they asked me for were cheap. What does that even mean? Girl, what does that even mean? That means absolutely nothing to me. What you're saying is just because it's cheap, you should use AI. Like if anything, you should do less work. And by doing less work, that doesn't mean using AI. That means you literally draw less. Like, don't make fancy art if you're getting paid like $12, but obviously she's getting paid like $50 or whatever per commission. I wish I could see her commissions, what her commissions were before she got taken down. And it says the fact that my pics of cover, and she goes, yeah, a long time ago. Oh, she's asking, how did you make the pics of cover? And she goes, yeah, I asked a long time ago. And she goes, I used an AI called Novel AI, which was the first one to come out, and it was shit. I mean, that was also the first one I used because it was the easiest. I thought it was the easiest, but in reality, midjourney. But in reality, the easiest is midjourney. The other ones, maybe DALL-E, I don't know. I would say best output, easiest typing is probably midjourney. That's why Ross Draws uses it. And if you haven't known about what Ross Draws did, I guess I'll link that at the end of the video. So Azuukichan goes, I asked you where it was from and if you made it, and that I liked it. And she goes, oh. She goes, I laughed and left it. I don't remember, sorry. And she goes, okay, but the AI topic is very hot right now, chick. And I thought it would be better to approach another artist before using AI. And you know what I told you. There's always going to be these witch hunts now. And she goes, yeah, and I agree. But today, using AI is not legal. But I think what she's saying is that using AI is a gray area. I feel like that's what's actually being said here. That from what I'm interpreting, like my Spanish is very poor and I had to use a translator. And my friend said that the translator got the gist of it. And I wasn't going to ask him to rewrite the transcript for me because this is just going on for too long. But let's go on. And Felielle goes, I don't care if it's air or not, to tell you the truth. I just care about the colors. And Azuki goes, okay, one thing about Squchan, though, it hurts me a little bit. And that's the end of their discussion. Now, it proves here that she was using AI the entire time. So in 2023, it seems that she didn't get into any drama that I know of other than harassing that one person that she was harassing for the music thing. And I can't find anything online that still has her stuff connected to it. So I feel that she grew exponentially in 2023, and she was probably not tracing off of anybody normal, and she was probably using AI underneath her work, so her work didn't look plagiarized. But clearly, we've all found the AI that she's been using. She was using Pix AI. You can just log in, and I think you can make an account, and I think you get free credits or whatever. A lot of those AI websites are like that. Now, because she had confessed to Azuki that she made her pics of banner with AI, she didn't say pics of AI, but it either could have, she did disclose that it was probably on Discord, and the only one on Discord that I know of is midjourney. So At this point, Azuki noticed how strange her style was becoming. She had big head, big tits, big ass, and when she brought it up, Felielle said that she preferred this style and felt it was comfortable. Now, their friendship started to sour because Azuukichan asked for aid on how to grow on X. She was told to use hashtags and nothing else. Felielle was ignoring her now, and after November 30th, 2023, according to Azuukichan, she avoided speaking to her at all until June 8th, 2024. Felielle unfollowed Azuukichan, but she didn't get a response as to why, but Azuukichan was doing well on Vgen, and she assumed it was that. She was getting attention with a bigger creator and VTubers, and Felielle asked if Azuukichan would help her, and she did. She probably gave her Vgen code. I'm thinking that's probably what she did. It's muddy, but at some point in August, Cat and Chat, or Catliente, made a video about Azuukichan's commission drama. Felielle doesn't like Cat and Chat because she exposes artists using AI, saying that she was being stalked since then. Now, Felielle made it very clear that she stopped following and talking to her because she thought Azuukichan's fame had gone to her head. Azuki said that directly that was not true, but she muted her because she kept begging for comms, and she tried to be nice and helped her even learn how to use Vgen, but said nothing about how she was charging more than she should due to taxes in her country, but she never told anyone that. So she was overcharging on Vgen, I believe, for her country. So while they didn't follow each other, Azuki would send Felielle her extra clients because I guess they were still acquaintances on Discord, because it seems that way. So she was sending Felielle all of her clients that she couldn't do, but a video had popped up on the Brazilian Miku one. Now, this is what caused the Vgen saga. At this point, she's only been on Vgen roughly a year, according to the official Vgen account screenshot that I have right here. So let's look at the video. Now,
haya visto. Yeah, I have a bunch of references of Brazilian Miku there. Yes? Yeah. Well, I don't know why I'm lagging so hard. Okay, 1 second. I know it's mostly just some bunch of AI generated stuff, but I don't really want to be like looking at other people's art and whatnot.
Now the video shows that there's 3 images of Brazilian Miku. I have tried to find the originals. I really did try. I believe I went to Pics of AI. I made an account. I went and I started looking for Brazilian Miku. I went and I found the person who made the Laura that she used. And those images are nowhere on the internet. And when I look it up, like if I put Brazilian Miku AI and then I look it up, her image comes up in those search results. Now, she told me that those images came from Google or Pinterest. I am really good at finding stuff on Google and Pinterest, and I could tell you that those images aren't on there because I really looked hard. I really looked. And the only way that I found, I put her image in there because they look alike, and those images didn't even come up when I tagged her images, like when I did a search for her. So I know that there is literally like, there's no way possible. She definitely generated those on PixAI. I think that's why she hasn't gotten in any trouble in 2023, because she was using AI under her work or painting over AI, because there is some proof that she was painting over AI. There's this image here that is really strange. There's something wrong with it. As you can see, like, the anatomy is really bad. Like, the arm, she fully drew the arm like that. Like, the character is wearing an arm sleeve that has these this clouded starry arm thing, and her character, the arm goes down and then backwards. I don't think she realized what she was doing because she was copying the AI. There's also this image from her Instagram where there is random lights where there does need to be light because it doesn't make sense. So I think that when she was talking about doing an art book exclusive, I think it was going to be AI or painted over AI. Here's another where she stated to have found PixAI and then she drew a character based off of it. Like, it's not one for one, but I feel like because her anatomy is a little bit better here, that it wouldn't seem as bad. But like, what is that? Like, you're telling me she could draw all of this detail on this hip, but then when it comes to that bell is like flat? Like, she was definitely tracing something, because that bell is, ooh, absolutely not. That's not it. And then there's this image here. It says caught using AI, where someone pointed out that in one of her streams, she has like an example here of PixAI generated image name format when downloaded from the web is Pixiv and then a long string of numbers. And in here, right here where you can see, it does say PixAI and then long string of numbers. And it goes, the layer containing the completed drawing, which is an AI generated image using PixAI, retains the same name as any image downloaded from PixAI web. She did not bother to change the layer name. The naming of the file and the layer follows the format exemplified above. Now, all of these were already available on Twitter in October, and somebody, I don't know who, had reported her for tracing AI, heavily referencing, and using AI, heavily referencing, and tracing. So let's get into the Vgen drama. So this happened sometime in late September, early October, where she was officially messaged by Vgen. I did try to get more information, but it seems as though she did not want to show the original email that started the whole chain. And when she spoke to another creator about it, she didn't send them that either. So I feel that that's a little bit disingenuous of her, because she's saying that they said nothing. How could they say nothing? And all of the replies are only seeming like replies that are in a chain of things that have already happened. Thankfully, I do have some screenshots, and she never really, I assume she didn't release it because she already knew that this was going to be problematic for her. So they did accuse her of heavily tracing and using AI, or heavy referencing. They asked her for proof. She said that she provided them with everything they needed, but they were found wanting. Now, all of the evidence that she gave just wasn't enough. I feel that she hasn't been fully honest with everyone about what Quinn said about the ban or leading up to it. Quinn said that she tried to push for the investigation to be over, but it lasted 3 weeks. Honestly, I don't feel like Feli was pushing, but that's just me. So let's look over the screenshots. So this first image is kind of bad quality, but it is what it is. It goes, on October 8th, they claim that I have been caught using AI multiple times, which isn't the case, and that I left X because people found out. This never happened. And they even had the audacity to contact Vgen in hopes that my account will get closed because they simply believe I used AI. They used a site called Site Engine to show proof that I used AI for my art. For some reason, the site gives my art as 99% AI. What the fuck? But even when I use the site myself with some random art I found online by a Japanese artist, voila, it shows that it's done by AI as well. So it did take them 3 weeks, and this is what it says here. Hello again. Given the amount of evidence we discovered through our investigation and received from multiple sources, we have no choice to remove you from the platform for using AI, heavy referencing, and/or tracing. We believe in a permanent suspension if people are intentionally malicious, don't own up to their mistakes, or repeatedly offend without improvement. Given that you have denied wrongdoing and tried to pressure us into rushing our investigation, we have decided to implement a 6-month suspension account action. Your Vgen account will be suspended for 6 months. Effective immediately, you can appeal the suspension on May 1st, 2025. For your incomplete commissions attached to this email, we will email each client to let them know you've broken the policy and have been suspended. We will not specify the exact reason. We will allow outstanding commissioners to file PayPal disputes. So at this point, she mentions that she has a single hater, which I don't think is a single person. I think it is multiple people. Hello again. Regarding the single hater you are referring to, this had no influence on our investigation or decision, regardless of what you may claim. We did an independent investigation that lasted 3 weeks after you brought this up, and we have conclusive evidence of the breach of TOS. We have not received evidence to disprove this. The decision was made without satisfaction, as we would not benefit from removing an artist who asked in good faith. Again, we're happy to hear your concerns about an appeal for a potentially reduced suspension time. Lastly, I have initiated the payout of your Vgen wallet, which is whatever it says. You should receive the funds in 5 to 10 business days. So she goes, by the way, Quinn said I rushed them to finish the investigation. They told me that it would take a few months up to a week. They took 1 month for this investigation to conclude, and I asked them 2 times for updates since they lacked communication. At first they told me everything was okay, and then they asked me for evidence, time lapses, or PSDs of certain commissions. I gave them everything that I had on hand, and they said that everything was okay, and then I continued taking comms. So here is another one that says, hello again, there is no appeal for the suspension at this moment. However, we have extensive evidence to support most of these points. There may be a chance to reduce the suspension time, but that would be the extent of the solution that we could provide. So now let's talk about the aftermath of this thing. Now she posts literally the day she got banned, and she goes, imagine that you ruined someone's life, livelihood, reputation, social media presence, etc. And then you have the balls to sue them just because the person tried to defend themselves and exploded and insulted them. That's my life right now, and I can't do anything about it. I've already closed down some of my social media accounts, but I'm having a hard time letting go of X after all the great stuff that happened here, and I honestly don't want to leave. But this harasser who ruined my life won't stop and is now making people turn their backs against me. Guess I'll wait patiently for the lawsuit. I don't have money for a lawyer anymore. Vgen made me lose $1,200, and I don't have a livelihood anymore. I guess I'll see you guys from jail. Whatever, girl, please. Now I'm gonna run a little bit of defense for her because I'm trying to be fair. So, 1. On some websites, her style has been scraped to make AI images similar to her. AI Waifu Diffusion has her name in the tag. I will show it to you right now. This is the Hugging Face list of names. She is right here. You could see Felielle 22 Felielle on Hugging Face. And then when you go here, this is the Art Waifu Diffusion, okay? This is what it was based off of. This is the model. And you could see that it was made 7 months ago. So her art is in there. And this is why I'm giving some leeway, okay? On PixAI, she has a style. Look, right there. Her name is right there. Right in the work. So I know that people can just, on the website that she is on, where she's generated Brazilian Miku images, her artwork is on there. And this does look exactly like hers, actually. And then we have this, which is the Felielle artist style. It's literally hers, like this was made in January 27th, 2025. It says, generated images in this art style of Felielle, recommended Laurel Weight. If you like my work, feel free to visit my coffee website. Every donation helps. This is an independent person who is just a person who just stole her work and generates their own. But what models do they have? Let's look at the Laura's. models, and they have like over 300 models. Just stealing also that, like hers is right here. Here's another one. Just generating the same character but different people's art styles, so you can see the differences. Look, there's Wallop. That's starting to look like hers a little bit. So there's a lot here. Now someone showed me this image from Capo, and he goes, before she deletes it, she just posted this yesterday. Draw your own inferences. I don't know what she's told you, but she's laughing in your face. Now, these images are very similar. Very, very similar. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go look up the images, right? Because I asked Feli directly, and she said that she drew that last year, right? So let's go look. Let's go have a looky-loo, right? Come from Tensor Art from a year ago, and March 7th from a year ago. Now, this is important, okay? On here, this was uploaded October 29th, 2023, okay? This image here. This is her artwork. Now, this was published December 13th, 2023. They used her artwork here and did image to image to make this, but no one was willing to look at the dates to see what was made first. This was made after her work. Granted, it was only a few months, but the fact is that it's too tight of a time frame. Hers was made first, and then this was made. I don't believe that Ishtwal Fox is also her. I just don't. What I'm seeing here she doesn't know this much about AI. Okay, she's not that much of a guru on AI that she would be able to make all of these models. I think she would be able to make one model, and that's it. Definitely not 917 models. So that comes in my defense for her, because I feel that because she's been messing around too much and she's been playing around too much, this is what's happened now. Now her work is put directly in image to image, and then this image was made off of her work. And because she's already started using AI, now she can get in trouble for stuff like this, and she might have done something to plagiarize somebody with that other image, but it was definitely not this one. Like, she didn't trace this, that traced her. And she's also been doing the AI coloring, where she does it space by space. I don't think that is how she used to do it, but alas, we will never know. And then there's, on top of that, she seems to know Pixiv AI very well. She doesn't say she does, but she's gotten enough images from Pixiv AI that lead me to believe that she has an active account on there where she's generating, and she's been on there a minute. Because think about this. You mean to tell me that she found the same 3 AI images in Google her first try? There's so many other images, and the official image too. You mean to tell me that she got all of those and 3 images popped up? I just don't believe that. I just don't. So I would honestly need to see her, I would honestly need to see her speed paints from before 2022 to see if she's always painted by area. But she also did this Elsa drawing too. Like, Feli, how is anyone supposed to believe you with all this? I've said it a million times, just because you can show that you did one work and completed it, that doesn't mean the rest are not suspect. You also state that you color pick off references, so these are essentially paint by numbers for you at some point. And I'm not saying that can't be a process. I have color picked off of a canvas before, but I'm saying that what she does is she'll take the artist's work, draw the same character in a similar pose, and then she'll do whatever she wants, and she'll color pick off of a canvas and color exactly the way they did, so it looks like their art. It's craziness. I don't know. There's a lot of processes in this world, but I would never have done that process. I believe her when she said that she didn't trace certain ones. I believe that's true, because she does have some talent of her own. I can almost kind of tell when she's drawn something for real versus when she has done something and used AI, or she's traced over AI. But she has so many problems with direct tracing that no one will even look before accusing her. This is the problem, that actually using AI, this is why actually using AI is a problem in your process. At some point, when you've muddied the water with your own work, even if the model is of your own work, you've used AI in your work too much now, and you've kind of fucked any believability that you would have had that it's yours. So Feli's problem is that she's 100% using AI at one point. She also traces AI as a base, which is iffy at best to me, and she considers But she both traces popular artists and she has great skill of observation. So she gets the eyes that she wants on her. And I think that she can draw, but she definitely wanted to polish up her art and she loved to get caught doing it, I think. Because if she can get caught in a travesty at some point, someone will start sending her money. So I also wanted to talk about her interest in AI. In an earlier screen cap, she showed interest in AI in 2022 with Azuukichan. She expressed that she loved the idea in 2022, showed an artist who loved it and loved the idea. During her ban, she did allow AI imagery for posing. I don't really consider that interesting, and neither should anyone else. AI images are bases, generic and non-copyrightable. Poses are poses, and I have the same conversation. And in the same conversation she generated AI for her Pixiv cover, and she had a generated image of her character in 2022. So she does know how to generate. She knows all of the models, DALL-E, Stable Diffusion, Novel AI. She does know midjourney a little bit. She says she likes AI for inspiration. Here she says that she likes AI for arts inspo, but we already know that she tends to trace based on the Niku images. And here she lies about not knowing how to generate back in November after the Vgen Ban, while telling Azuukichan that she generated an image on her own. She said she doesn't know those images were AI and then she used them to color pick only, but 3 AI images? Isn't that crazy that she would pick those 3 and trace off each one in different parts? Normally, this would have been probably a good thing if it was 3 references, like 3 wildly different references, and then you use them to make your own composition. That would have been different, but that's not what she's doing. Now, she says that she doesn't like showing people her process, which is probably because she's doing nefarious shit underneath of them. Now, in November, right after the ban, she's caught saying, use AI, heavy reference if you want, right here in her Discord. Unfortunately, she deleted all of her accounts, but I'm sure there was more in 2023 if I could have reviewed her entire Twitter some more. Alright, this is post video. I forgot to put in a few things I'm going to mention right here. We have to go over a little bit on her other people talking about her. So I'm going to show you this right here about her earliest stint of tracing, which is this image here, where she took from this cosplayer who was making something, this right here, and then for her own version of this art, she just traced over it and put it in her art directly. This was in 2016. That's the earliest that she was caught. I'm also going to read over 2 statements she made. This statement was made on February 26, 2025, and it's called It Won't Stop, and it was originally on her Deviantart page. It says, I honestly don't know what to do anymore. This is kind of just to give you a gist of how she acts. I have a hater that's been harassing me since 2024 or even earlier. I don't know for how long he's been stalking me. He keeps posting fake proof about me using AI, tracing my art, and thinking that I use AI tools to create my art. Even when I post speed paints, he says that I generate them, and that I am deceiving my audience. Twitter is not doing anything other than suspending his multiple accounts. Every time I block an account, a new one appears slandering me. I have 0 money to hire a lawyer. Social media is not helping me. My followers are not helping either. I get 0 interactions about this. I've gone to a psychologist to try and get mental health about this, but it didn't really help because I'm a sensitive person and I may be disabled. I ignore this person, but sadly I lost my Vgen account a few months ago because they decided to believe this fake proof. Another YouTuber did a video about me and I got a lot of support, but as all internet things, it quickly disappeared and it didn't go viral like all of the other cases when artists get harassed. I'm at a loss. I don't know what to do anymore. I ignore people and I'm scared of losing my money and integrity once again. I feel alone in this. Maybe I should just leave the internet once and for all. I've been on the internet for more than 20 years. Maybe it's time to have a life outside of it and stop art. Starting a new identity with a new drawing style? I'm not strong enough to ignore anymore, even if I'm trying my best. I hate this so much. She got 22 comments where people are asking her how she feels and, reaching out to her. So this other document comes from her when we were talking, and I told her that I was going to make a video about her. She posted on her Twitter this document, and I will link my copy of the same document in case she decides that she's going to delete it so you guys can see it. Hello guys, first of all, thank you so much for your constant support over the years. As you may know, I've been targeted by a group of people or an individual who has a grudge against me for a long time now and has been creating multiple accounts over and over to try to disregard me in terms of my art. I've been accused of tracing, using AI, being dishonest about my work, deceiving my audience, among other things, and I honestly just can't stand the situation anymore. I've been trying to ignore it, fight against him or her. I try to take legal action, asked for help many times, but nothing worked, and the situation just gets worse and worse every day. I've been banned from Vgen. I've been trying to recover as best as I possibly can. I went to the psychologist and a psychiatrist to get help, and nothing really helped me. I feel very alone in this, despite having over 25k followers on X. I'm really grateful for all of the friends that helped me going through the situation, and I'm sorry for taking the step back, but honestly, I don't want to keep on living like this. I'm tired of having to deal with constant harassment over my art. I'm tired of people questioning what I do or don't do online as if their life depends on that. I don't want to keep continuing art as a career. I stopped enjoying drawing art a long time ago, and even more so thanks to this person and others questioning me, which she's talking about me. I can't fight back, and I can't keep ignoring the situation much longer. I'm tired of crying my eyes out every day and night and fighting against myself on what I should or shouldn't do regarding this matter. I am not made of a rock, and my patience has reached its limit. I've already been so depressed to the point of accidentally tripping on a loose tile and breaking a knee as consequence to many other things. Okay. I don't really want to keep putting up my mental and physical health on stakes because of this situation. There are more important things in this world than to care about someone who draws waifus on the internet. But it is what it is, and no matter how much I try to fight and defend myself against those who question me is useless. I don't have the moral or mental strength to keep fighting this absurd war. I know I did some questionable things. I know I said some questionable things. And I said some horrible things to some people, but we were all guilty for that as well. And I apologize for my behavior. I'm not perfect. I'll never be perfect. All I wanted to do was to share my art, take commissions like every other person on the internet. My downfall was 2020 Squchan Drama. I know I should have never used her art to create my own. And then 4 years later, I got banned on Vgen. That was the nail in the coffin for me. Now, a convo that I had with my followers on Discord has been leaked, and I am not proud of what I did because she actually took off her $1 tier so that people couldn't get into her Discord anymore unless they paid the $5 fee. I would have done that. I'm not proud of what I did or what I said. I just thought I was having fun with my friends, and it turns out that it is a big sin, and I'm so sorry for all I said and did. I'm just a human, and I do bad stuff sometimes. Sometimes, girl. Sometimes. I decided that for my own good to leave social media, this time forever. I'm not sure if I'll delete my social media in the future or not, but I need to stay away from all of this because it's not going to stop. You're free to believe whatever you want. If you want to believe the accusations against me, you can do so. If you want to believe in me, you can do that too. I honestly can't do anything else given the situation, and ignoring it is out of the question. I have constant nightmares every night thanks to this, and I can't take it anymore. I'm sorry for everybody I offended, and I'm sorry for being overly sensitive. I tried being a better human and a better artist, but sadly that didn't work in the end, and I disappointed a lot of people in the process. Maybe I don't deserve being an artist after all, and that's okay. At least I tried, and I really appreciate the support. If you managed to read all this, I appreciate it so much. I wish you the best in life, and I hope your dreams come true. Sincerely, Estella, also known as Feli. Peace. She's been known to make documents like these, not documents, but posts, where she apologizes and says she's wrong, and then she repeats it. So I'd like to say that I do believe her, but time will tell. Time will tell. I do feel bad for her because I'm not a psychopath. I do feel that she is hurting, but I feel like she is not learning how to do things properly, and she wants to fight, and she thinks that, like, you know, they do say when you're accused of a crime, denial. Deny it until there's nothing you can do about it, and then just keep denying it. Because once you admit it, then you admitted it. But I think in this case, it would be easier if she admitted it, went on her merry way, did her artwork as she wanted to do. Like, I think it would just be easier for everyone if she did it that way. That's just my 2 cents. So lastly, let's talk about her bad online behavior. I feel like I really need to hone this in because we get to see parts of her that are acting out, right? You don't get to see anything all together. So I feel like let's put it let's go over it. Fel has and always wanted clout, fame, etc. She does it by imitating famous artists, tracing their content, plagiarizing them, because I do not believe a line for line lineup is a coincidence. That's me, that's what I think. She loves to make pity posts. She loves to talk about her mental health spirals, and she has admitted to me that she has a personality disorder. Of all of her pity posts, unless she makes a comment here for me to cut this out, I'm going to leave this in. It seems like she's doing a Boogie2988 of the R world. She was up here in her Discord and on Twitter saying that she had cervical cancer. She mentioned it once and then never again, except when she said she was going to start taking treatments a month later, and that was in July of 2024. That's when she said she started treatments. She never brought it up again. I was willing to say that if she did all of this, all of her bullshit, to pay for her treatment, I would have been willing to let that slide. All of it. I'd be willing to let all of it slide. Well, maybe not before like June, but after June, I would have let it slide. But I have a close friend of mine who's from Spain, and he told me that all cancer treatment is paid for by Social Security and the government, so she wouldn't have needed any money to pay for anything. I feel that this is a manipulative tactic because if she's supposed to have cervical cancer and taking treatments, when she was asked multiple times how she was doing by Azuukichan, she never brought it up ever again. I think that even if you're trying to remain private, she's never talked about, even when we were talking, she never talked about her physical health. She never brings it up. I feel that she has forgotten that she's supposed to have cervical cancer. Even if it's a mild form, whatever type it is, she said she had cervical cancer. That's serious enough for me. Any cancer posting. She can also be very vindictive and doesn't mind harassing people for things that she was exposed for. The drama from the music creator that she frequently brings up with nasty comments in her SoundCloud descriptions 5 years later when she didn't get her way by begging nor getting rid of the evidence of her mishaps. She decides to harass, and she'll say she'll sue, call the police, dox a person's real name. No one can ever bring up her drama, but she can bring up the stuff other people say and smear them as long after it's over. She's resorted to calling Azuukichan a jealous bitch for blocking her due to the Vgen Drama, because the Vgen Drama was all her own actions. I feel kind of bad for her, but I also think that it's sad that her ambitions have led her down this dark path. Now, I'm going to talk about my experience with her. I am not going to show screenshots because I don't believe in showing screenshots from a personal conversation unless I feel that it is very relevant to show those screenshots. I feel like I can just go over the information, and I feel that you guys can trust me enough to know that I'm not lying to you. So I was reaching out to a person named Kat, and then she begged me to hit her up. She wanted to tell me her story as she knew it. I was cordial as I could be, but I do feel like she was trying to manipulate me with the talk of her mental health and how unstable she was and how upset she was and how she was crying. I understand her mental health is bad, but people often use this as a tactic to derail from the situation. And we've seen it 100 times. She says she can't defend herself in the situation anymore, despite knowing plagiarism is wrong. She stated to have distanced herself from these habits, but she's not willing to admit the new ones that come from all the problems she's caused. Like, it's almost like she's like, do you guys know the VTuber Astera, the person who was like a mute and disabled VTuber who got real popular, but then you found out that it was like an able-bodied man who was just posing as a girl to get money? It's like that. It's like that. And like, because kept trying to rebrand, hoping for sympathy, trying to redirect from the situation instead of accepting responsibility for their actions. She tried to chalk it up as not being intelligent enough, which makes absolutely no sense to me. She was like blaming her intelligence on why she couldn't like understand things. But it like if she had like possibly autism or a learning disability, she did not tell me. Now everybody knows how I operate on this channel. If I'm doing a deep dive into a person, I always extend an olive branch when I'm doing an investigation, because once I am deep into an investigation where I've spent a week on this hoe. Now, I did the same with the League of Legends artist, and if you're interested in that, I'll put that video on the end of this one. Now, when it came to Michelle, I spoke to her, and maybe it was someone she lived with, and I said that if she could talk to me privately about this situation, I would take the video down. If she could prove who she was, prove herself, that she was the person behind the account, I would take the video down. But she didn't want to do that. And that's her choice. She made her choice. I gave Philly this choice too. I told her if she could come clean with me, just me, right now, not only would I not make a video about her, but if she swears to use multiple references, from now on I will drop the whole thing. Obviously, she said she had been clean with me the whole time, and I know that that's not true. That I have too much information. Too much information. I feel that she should have just said that she used AI and just admitted it. She also admitted that she used multiple references, and when we've seen already that she literally has used one reference before and then just flipped it, I believe that she was, through our conversation, halfway honest and halfway in complete denial on some subjects. I wish I would have waited before talking to her and collected my screenshots first. She went wild on the 11th and deleted all of her long-standing accounts. Twitter, Instagram, Deviantart. I think her Pixiv is also deleted. But while we were talking, I did call her out on how she was making money from scamming people. And she goes, well, not anymore. I've discounted all of my stuff. No one can make money off me now. And I was like, actually, that's not true. Your Patreon? What about that? And she was like, well, I guess I'll have to delete that. I was like, you don't have to delete it. I just think you should come clean. Now, she says in her Discord that she has intended to come back with a new name and a new art style. She's posted an artist that she likes, and she says that she probably is going to copy. And she has said multiple times that everyone forgets everything in a few weeks and moves on. Not really. Oneko lost 50,000 subscribers because of her transphobic and racist content. And Michelle is a lost cause because she is not trustworthy. Straws has many things he still needs to address. So wrapping up, I think Philly is the dangerous type of creator because she views her issues as forgettable. So she doesn't really think that she's hurting anybody by doing all the things that she's doing. I believe that if she were just to be honest about her use of AI and just take her commissions like normal and just admit, yeah, I use AI as a strong reference because I don't want to plagiarize any artists, like any artist directly, because she's really using it for poses because she can't fucking draw shit. Like, it's proven that she has problems with anatomy because I've never seen any of her artwork where I see her draw the whole thing, like put together all of the sketches, all the sketch part. I've never seen her it always looks like she just draws lines. Now, at the end of the day, her controversy just isn't about one person lying. It's about the damages these lies and acts of malingering, playing the victim for money, despite some of these issues being self-imposed. When someone uses these tactics to get commissions, it hurts people who need real help, people who work very hard on their craft, and people who have actually had their work stolen. Think Sakimichan and Sam Does Art, who are just living their lives, making a living off their work. One day someone will accuse Sam and Sakimi of AI tracing. And you know what we're going to have to do? We're going to have to give them grace. Because people have been shown to have lied to so many artists, and we gave them grace when they didn't deserve it. So I think being dishonest about your process with this many allegations only fuels harmful stereotypes that artists will beg for money and don't need it, followed by copying other people's homework too closely. This is kind of the thing about why you should always look for different people when you're getting inspired. You cannot get inspired by only one person. There has to be other, unless you're working for Disney or League or Riot. If you're not working for League or Riot or Marvel or whoever does comics, you need to start looking for other inspiration somewhere else. Like I have I think 3 or 4 artists that I'm inspired by that I just want to imitate their artwork, and there's parts of it that I leave and parts I take away. And I admitted, I showed her one of my inspirations and I was like, this is just one person I'm inspired by. My art looks different because I'm inspired by 4 different artists. And I don't believe, I can't believe that she's so into one person that she wants to become them, even if that means plagiarizing their work while they're still around. That's crazy to me. Now, to Philly, if you change your name, expect me to change the name of this video to include it. You cannot escape taking money from people knowing you used AI without being 100% honest about it. I've said it before, if you want to use AI in your process, then no one can stop you, but do not pretend that you don't do it. Please. I feel that if you are treating me like I'm dumb, I'm going to be offended. Me and her had this talk where she was pretending like I was too stupid to understand what she was talking about. And I told her, don't act like I'm dumb. I'm not. You can't fool me. And she goes, I'm not trying to treat you like you're dumb. She's playing a game, and I don't appreciate it. I think you should just be honest. I think you should come back on your platforms, be honest that you want to use AI in your process because you find it interesting, and just be done with it. Just be done with it. Let people decide if they want to support you, and let people decide if they want to get rid of you. I think you're too afraid of that, and I think a lot of artists who are sneakily using AI, I think they're just a little bit afraid of the backlash. But at the same time, if you're doing it, just be honest about it and let people choose if they want to support you. I'm sure there's people that would support you either way, and there's people that won't. It's your decision. You've created a very confusing conversation for yourself, not to everyone else. I know this was a lot. I did a lot of research for this video, and I had some help from some anonymous sources. It took me all week, all weekend, and then part of this week to get everything for this video. And if you'd like to support me and the channel, feel free to subscribe to my Patreon. I put content on there like a personal blog, my full res artwork, my personal stuff about my anthology book that I'm working on. I want to thank my patrons for being so great and helping me in the channel. And if you're wanting to help me a little bit more, I'm trying to get verified on Vgen. I do have 2 services, line art flats and a world building critique. I will do line art flats for $12 and world building critiques for $7. Please like this video, and if anyone in the audience has seen that Zelda art and knows the artist that she traced from, please leave it in the comments. I appreciate everyone here, and thanks for watching.